What's going on? We here with a new episode of the New Hood Podcast. I'm here with the gang. We got Venom, we got Shawn, you got me, D Braxton. What is going on?
What's good, fellas? What's
What's
good?
happening? What's happening?
Y'all boys got anything y'all wanna promote, drop before we get started in these topics?
Yeah, man. Come check the gaming page out. Link in the
Show us that.
description. At Kick, we usually live every night. We not sweats, but the vibes are immaculate. The vibes are
Yeah,
immaculate.
Hey, you
yeah,
coming for laughs?
Yay,
Because we
facts.
be on there cracking jokes.
yeah. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I probably crack more jokes than I get kills, but it's all good.
Hey,
He
I'm pretty
lying.
sure we reversed that, like that energy, like we reversed the jokes and put it into
Okay.
the game. We might be top level. We might be up
Okay.
there
Well,
with
Yeah,
that.
plus
Hey, that
one,
though.
two. You might.
yeah.
Whoa, whoa. So you had me till you said professional
That was
strippers.
it was a little
Yeah.
reach, wasn't it? Just a little bit. Hey.
Man.
But nah, that's it for me. What about y'all, fellas? Y'all got anything?
Man,
Nah,
not
man, I don't
really.
got nothing.
Okay. Okay.
I don't got
If y'all
nothing.
think of something, we can always still plug it at the end,
For
man.
sure, for sure.
Okay. All right, well, y'all ready to get in these topics?
Yes,
Of
sir.
course.
Bet. All right, so one of the topics that we done had in the past is success and stuff like that. So to kind of expand on that, we was asked, I think the previous topic was how do you define success or what does success look like for you? Um, the next question to that would be how do you feel about where you are in life right now? Are you happy? Are you upset? Are you, whatever way you feel? So how do you feel about where you are in life right now? Let's start with Venom.
Okay. I'll say I'm happy. I wouldn't say I'm sad, but I'm definitely not okay with where I'm at because I feel like as hard as I work, I would like to financially be where I'm at. But I also know that comes time. But as far as happy, like yeah, because at the end of the day, my bills paid, my kids good, my wife good, my family good. So I can't truly complain. But to say that I'm okay or happy, I'll be lying because I expect more. And what I expect, I think, is attainable. It's just not right now, and I understand that. So that's why I'm not like sad about it. Understand? I'm always trying to think long term and knowing if I grind right now, the grinds that I'm putting in now is gonna benefit later. So it's basically like an investment with the schooling and all that. With me still being in the military, I always tell people like I got 7 more years in the military basically, and then I can
Mhm.
become a real boy and do my real job and do the things I really plan to do. But right now, just keep my head down, steady grinding. And I think, although I'm not where I want to be right now, I'll definitely eventually get there.
Okay. What about you, Sean?
Hey, I definitely agree with what Nixon was just saying. Venom was just saying. I'm definitely like happy now. I just try to make sure I stay away from that word content. Because when you
Mm,
become content, you become complacent, and then you don't have any progression and stuff like that. So I definitely feel like I'm happy with where I'm at right now. I know that there is room for progress, which there always is. So I just actively try to make sure that I'm working on that aspect on all fronts, whether it's within being a father or being a husband or um, financially, just making sure that I'm in some way, shape, or form trying to obtain everything it is that I want out of life. Um, yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm at. I don't think that I'm where sometimes I do get caught up though, because I definitely be feeling like I should be farther than where I am, but I have to remind myself that I'm so much further than where I came from. So to give myself that grace is, that's one of the common things that people tell me is like give yourself grace and stuff. But sometimes I have a hard time with that too because it's like you give yourself grace and then that kind of leads to a sense of becoming complacent too. Because it's like, you know what, they right. I have came a long way. This is good. Like I should just be grateful for this, which I'm always grateful. Don't get it twisted, but you just feel like I don't there's no need to do anymore. But I think just trying to find that balance in between those two mediums. It's kind of where I'm at right now.
Okay.
What about you, bro?
I like where I'm at right now, man. I honestly can't complain. I mean, I guess I could, but I mean, like I said, it ain't not necessarily nothing like where I'm at, like financially, just life in general, family, work life. Could it all be better? Yeah, but like is all actually in a better position than I would say a lot of people that I do know. So that is something to be, grateful for. But I mean, it's definitely goals that I'm trying to accomplish because it's things that I should have accomplished already that I kind of, lacked on. So, I mean, it took a long time to get where I'm at right now, but it's just not exactly where I want, where I'm at right now is not where I want to be, what I'm saying, 10 years from now. So happy, no, content, not, I mean, happy, yes, content, no. What I'm saying? It's a whole lot that I can accomplish, and I'm starting to figure out like what I want to do, and that was like a huge hurdle that I had to get past. 'Cause it took years to really even like get there. Um, so yeah, that's really it for me. Is just knowing that I at least because like you'll hear people be like, "Oh, you doing so well" and all this stuff, and you be like, "Bruh." But I mean, right now I'm in the military. At that time, when I wasn't happy, it was like I'm in the military, but I don't want to know what I want to do after I get out the military. And then I would see people who got plans and stuff like that that they wanted. They already got the idea of what they wanted, and I was always like, you can say that I'm doing better than you, but at least you got goals of what you want to get to. And like it took a long time to figure out what that goal was for me. Finally figuring that part out. So that's the part that I can say I'm happy about. And then just putting one foot in front of the other with everything. So um, yeah,
And I definitely, to like follow up on what you just said, most definitely agree with you on that. I think for me, for the longest time, the hardest part that I was having trouble like grasping was stop doing stuff for the pursuit of money.
Mm,
hmm
okay, hold
People would
on.
always tell me like, "Hey, you can get X, Y, and Z amount of money doing this, so I'm head first into this, and you get X amount of money in this, head first into
hmm
this. You can get," and I just started following the things that like actually bring me happiness, and my life been a whole lot easier since then. Stop trying to like chase it, knowing that like things gonna be secured. Like you don't have to like, cause anytime you chase something behind some money, you gonna fail every time. I promise you. I done did it too many times. I know. Like
Bro, I
yeah,
just wasted so many years of school was trying to chase money. But I should have been had my degree like when I first came in the military. But I was chasing stuff to make me money because I was listening to so many people. And since we all med techs, we know like so you work with nurses, and they be like, "Oh, you a great nurse. You got a great bedside manner. You should be a nurse. I'll even help you." It's like, "All right, well, man, y'all make money, cool." I go to school, and then I realized like, "No, I want to do this." Things. A doctor was like, "Yo, you should be a doctor or a PA." Like, I know you doing it. He was like, okay, I know they make money too. Let me roll in that. And then I realized on the pursuit of that, I don't like people. So I was like, nah, this ain't gonna work out. I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to go to work. Even after I got in the military, be like, I hate my job. Let me go take care of these people.
yeah.
And that was something
So,
I had to realize about myself. And then I was like, okay, cool. And then I guess the real slap in the face is when I finally realized what I wanted to do, like as healthcare administration. Cause I still want to be in the hospital, but I want to be behind the scenes. And then the military
yeah.
was like, hey, you changed your degree plan too many times, young man. You need to go back and do what you was doing, but you can't move forward. And I was like, well, I bet I'll just start over and do computers. If I'm gonna do something, I do. So it's a great lesson. I mean, I probably would have learned it more if I had to pay for it out of my pocket, but
yeah, yeah,
but yeah, no, you hit it on the head. Definitely don't do things to chase money because you will not be happy.
yeah. Unless like what you doing, like it's something that
Yeah,
you actually like doing, and it just happened to like make
But
money. But like you
but
can
then
monetize anything. You know what I'm saying?
facts.
So like, do what you find something that you like. But I also think yeah, you kind of gotta. I'm also. I guess it's a good segue then. So with that, should you chase something like so? Should you always chase like your dreams when it comes to like your everyday job? Like, what do y'all think about that?
What you mean? I'm
Like,
trying to understand the question better.
so because like you said, don't chase money, right?
Right.
But what if like the job that you're going after doesn't necessarily make a good amount of money? You know what I'm saying? Should you still go after that dream if it's not going to pay you well? Or should you be also should money be a part of that decision of like things that you know what I'm saying going after?
Nacy,
I
you have
was,
something you want to say?
I was gonna say I think that's totally dependent on the person because depending on how you value money, because some people can be like, nah, it makes just enough, and I know that I'm smart enough where I'm not gonna get this crazy car note if my this ain't paying this. But as long as I got the things I need, and then I go to work every day, where my work is, I don't mind. Like I could do this for free. I think over time, like at first, initially, you may feel it if you trying to live above your means, but long time, I think for your mental health and everything, I think you will have better than somebody that's going at it just for money. Honestly,
Yeah, that I 100% agree with you on that because that's where I was going to go with
I don't know, man.
it.
I don't know. I think you should absolutely consider like, you know, how is this going to affect me financially?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Not I don't think it should be the end all be all, but like I
hmm
think it's something you should consider because like, you know what I'm saying, what might be satisfying now might not I mean if it's a job, you know what I'm saying,
yeah,
it might be satisfying now, but like if you hurting to make ends meet, then I think eventually that joy in that job might not stay there because you can't focus on like because you're gonna if it's not really like really paying the bills the way it should,
hmm
then now you either gonna be forced to figure out another stream of income, which it's something you should do anyway. But I don't know. I think you should think somewhat. Hey, is this should this be a job that I chase? You know, for my everyday thing, or should I make this more of a hobby? Because, like, say, like for instance, like tech. If it was a job, if you like computers, right,
hmm
and you go, I mean, granted, the tech industry pays a lot of money these days. But what if it was like somewhere in tech that, like, something very specific in tech that you would like to do, but it don't pay you that much money? And then so then you might have to consider, is this something I should be doing as a hobby, or is this something I should be doing to pay the bills? You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I'm about to
'Cause
say if my life is already established, then yeah, it wouldn't be. I'm saying like if I'm going into something where, like I said, I've already had that discussion where, like, because I think like you were saying, like you have to have that conversation, but it's not as deep as if I'm already established. Then it's like, well, I already got these set bills, so I know what needs to happen,
Mhm.
what I need to make. But if I'm going in it before I go get all these condos and all these houses and stuff, I think you have a better way of meaning. It may be a punch in the gut when you like, you know what, I'm gonna buy this big house, and then you realize you're like, oh, that's how
Can't
much it
afford
really
that.
costs. Yeah, it's like then it's like, okay, well, all right, let me go to this. But some people are that don't matter. So I think that's why I say it's truly dependent on the person because some people can live in a shoebox and be completely happy.
Yeah.
And okay, so yeah,
Yeah.
I
that's just
definitely think that's a big factor in it. But I mean, I don't know because I think like if it's something that you're really passionate about, something in me just tells me that like if I love selling shoes, right? There's something in me that's gonna make a way to make sure that those ends get met by selling shoes. If that's like my only goal or focus or priority, something in me just telling me that like it's gonna happen. Like it's gonna work out. Like I haven't seen someone that well, I ain't gonna say I haven't seen someone, but majority of the people that I've seen that like follow their passion, they actually become like I've seen personally, they've been stable, in one way or another. Cause it's like I guess your mind just like runs different. Like you just find different avenues, you think different as opposed to like going to a job you hate every day. You just like, man, I just hate it here.
Yeah.
Like you love something, I think your mind's just like more open, I guess, in a sense. Like,
Yeah.
I get what you're
I,
saying. I'm about to say I see. I can kind of agree because I'm about to say I think it's like time frame to that, right? Because I think initially following your dream is always horrible,
oh
and
yeah,
those
for sure.
people usually quit before they
And
make it. The people
yeah,
that I've seen become successful is the people that grinded through all that.
So you
because
got
like Brax was saying in the last podcast, before I can invest in you, I gotta see you invest in
invest in me.
everything,
Yeah,
and when you showing that passion, I think that's what show people. But yeah, it takes a strong minded person to do it though.
Yeah,
I haven't got that, or else I would have been out the military like, hey, I will follow. I'm not there. I ain't doing that. I ain't gonna hold you. I
yeah,
ain't
and I
doing it.
mean, you also been here long enough to where it's like, yeah, if I leave now, I'm not gonna leave with what I need to leave with. So it's
No
like
facts.
maybe later, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna
No
leave
facts.
soon though, but it
Yeah.
ain't gonna be tomorrow. So yeah, but I don't know,
Count
man.
your
I think
days.
yeah, I do think though that you do need to, because like I said, I was telling somebody before, I was like, sometimes your passion may not be what pays the
your
bills,
purpose.
and yeah, exactly. I like sometimes I think sometimes people confuse the two, like because you can shit. You can wake up and do the things you like doing every day, and it might not necessarily be the thing that you do 9 hours out of the day. You know what I'm saying? You might go somewhere and you the boss, and I don't necessarily care about being the boss, but I'm good at it, and they pay me good money, so I'm not going to miss out on that money. But like maybe I like working on cars. Just because you like, just all right, for instance, just because you like working on cars don't mean you need to own an auto shop, or it don't even necessarily mean you need to be a mechanic. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? If because some people don't have that, they don't have that in them to do it regularly. So some people get that fixed by working on their own car as a hobby. You know what I'm saying? And they like that's my happy place. It's on that weekend, or what I'm saying, few hours out of the day when I get off work to go work on my car. You know what I'm saying? So I think finances should not be the end all be all, but it should play I mean, especially now we in our 30s, or at least all me and Nixon is in our 30s. I think Shawn, you almost there.
Yeah,
But I'm
close.
saying, yeah, like at some point you're gonna have to pivot to realize, like, all right, is this what I really want to do, and is this gonna pay me good money to where these kids, this wife, and everybody else is good? You know what I'm saying?
So yeah,
No
So,
facts.
but I don't know, man.
but I
But
think also too, just to like my last thought on it. I think going into it, you kind of know,
yeah,
like like, hey, this isn't something I'm gonna do every day, all day, or that like this is the only thing. If I'm not doing this, then I'd rather be dead, type of deal. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? So I think it's just a conversation you have to have with yourself and how committed you're gonna be before you jump into it.
yeah, this is true. This is true. Okay, all right, man. So next topic. Um, so we've talked about parenting before. Um, what else? So with parenting in that realm, we can. The next question is: did your parents' parenting style make you change the way you parent now? Now that you have kids, and if so, why? Who do we start? We started off with what Nixon first last time. So Shawn, did the way your parents parent you change the way you parent your kids?
Yeah and no. I think my mama, she was always like, she was on my ass, boy. She ain't play no games. But at the same time, she was like a real, just like open book kind of person. Like I used to, and if my mom watching this, I'm sorry, but my mama she used to put me up on game. Like she had somebody that was, in the building working with her, some she like, oh, throw me the alley oop, you know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
like, my mom was a cool person in that regard, but she always made sure that I was focused, like, so, or tried to make sure that I was focused. I was still a young guy, so I did kind of what I wanted to do anyway. But um, and she ain't never like turned her back on me. So I think I like carry that same like principle, or
Mm-hmm.
guide, when it comes to raising my kids, or try to. Um, I can't say from coming from her that like too much changed, or too much has changed in my parenting style. Uh, I ain't have my dad growing up, but I had my stepdad, and he was definitely like, I appreciate him because he did a lot of stuff that he ain't have to do. You know what I'm saying? But coming from that angle, I do think that like I have changed some stuff or tried to some stuff that I still like be trying to work towards. And it's just about being more present. Um, because I feel like he'd be kind of distant, like when I was growing up and stuff like that, or even my brothers and stuff. But I don't think he didn't mean no malice or no ill intent from it. Just how he was brought up, you know.
Yeah. What about you, Josh?
Yes, sir. Yes, it did. Parents used to beat me. Okay, no. I'm just- But no, for instance, because like I was saying, I mean, they grew up in a different time, so like we're a product of what we taught. Like it's instilled in us, even when we don't try to. And so, of course, you're gonna do everything what you think is right until somebody tell you you're wrong. And so
Mhm.
my dad and my mom, I mean, the relationship was my mom showed the love, my dad went to work, made sure food was on the table and cool. And that was his form of love. Not saying that was wrong, but it's not what I wanted for my kids, you know? And also, like, they were kind of like if you cried so much you were called a crybaby or anything, you were not allowed to express that emotion. Not saying to cry all the time and what Braxton always say, like, okay, we cool, but we gotta have an end solution. Like we can't just keep crying about the same thing. We gotta come and say, all right, now that that happened, what can we do better to change it? And so that's one thing I've instilled in my kids to try to, it's okay to show emotion. That doesn't mean that you're anything less than what you are. It just means you're in touch with the feelings, but we can't just keep crying. We have to come up with a solution. We can't just complain, 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 and then not try to do anything to fix the situation or keep putting ourselves in the same situation and expecting a different result. It's the definition of insanity. And
Yeah.
then the second thing was just whooping my kids. I'm not saying they ain't gonna get whoopings. It's just not my first like go
Result.
to. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's more of like,
Mhm.
hey, okay, let's try to resolve this. Let's talk peaceful. Let's do the gentle parenting. All right, let's put a little more bass. Okay, let's sit down. Let's talk about it. So let me try to see where you're coming from, because at the same time, I never got that. It was don't ask no questions, don't do nothing. Like, and it was cool. And I had to break that because, like, when my son asked why, it was kind of like, what you say? Like, what you mean? Why? It's because I said. And then it was like, all right, maybe. But then to come to find out, he really genuinely wanted to know, like, hey, why do we have to do this? And once you explain, he's like, okay, that makes sense. No, understand. But again, so the overall question, yes, it definitely made me change my parenting style. Because, like I said, there's no perfect parent. There's no book to teach you how to be a perfect parent. It's something that you gotta. Your kids have different personality. No matter how many kids you got, they all gonna have a different personality, and they all gotta be parented different in some way. So, yes.
Yeah.
What about you, DJ?
Absolutely. Yes, I did. My parent and parents, all that stuff. Yeah, they all not saying that they were wrong, but it would just I don't know if it was always I don't know if every situation was the best thing. So like for me, it's just yeah, definitely hearing my kid out. Um, I mean everybody at this point know that I try the gentle parenting for the most part. Um, yeah, explain. I do believe you should be explaining yourself to kids. I don't think that like when somebody turns 18 that they getting you either going to school or you getting kicked out. I don't believe in that. Um, I think I'm not having. Well, I'm not gonna say that, but yeah. It's yeah everything. Like not that I do everything different from the way I was parented, but yeah, a lot of it is not how I would ever like parent my kid. But that's because shit, my mom came from a different time. My grandparents came from a different time. My cousins in Indiana that I lived with came from a different time. So like now I live in the 2000s. So I'm going to parent my kid based on like what I've learned, over the 30 almost shit 33 years. I'll be 34
Damn,
years in March. Yep.
shit.
Hey, I'm proud of getting older. Hey.
Oh,
Very fast.
hey, facts. No, that's the goal.
You
I just know
34 in
everybody
March, and I'm
facts.
happy about it. But yeah. So how I was parented, it will be what I learned, and I mean, not all of it was bad. Like shit, like I said, my mom, always was. Uh, she was very stern at certain times, but then also, she didn't mind like chopping it up and being honest. My mom was very, very honest about certain things, and so yeah, and she it taught me to be very thick skinned. So, you know, uh,
I got a question for y'all, like to follow up on that. And it's just more out of like curiosity, not to like question it or anything. Cause I mean, I had the same like thought process or whatever, but I kind of like wonder where does it come from? Like us changing our parenting style. Cause I mean, I think if you look at all us, like we turned out good. You know what I'm saying? Like that for the most part. So I kind of like, what do you think like invoked it in you to be like, I need to kind of switch it up?
uh, I
Go
don't
ahead,
know.
bro.
I don't know.
Want me to go? I'll go.
Yeah, yeah.
I think honestly it's friends. Like I honestly believe like my mindset didn't change about the 18 and like not doing something. Started on the podcast with DJ and he was like, "No, I don't agree with that." And then he made valid points and it was like we're the only race that really focus on doing that. And then it was like once you sat back, it was like, "Damn, okay. It makes sense." Now, will I still say you got to be doing something? We just not about to be just
Sitting
chilling in
there,
here playing
yeah,
video games. But no,
facts.
I agree. It's no putting a timeline limit on it because at the same time, I wish I would have had that opportunity. Although mine was different because I had a kid at a very young age, and so it was kind of like I wanted my own family, and I couldn't raise my family in like somebody else's household, and so it made me just want to be able to be like, I bet I gotta go, and so I wish I had that. Would have been able to be to like stack my money and learn more. So when I was able to go out, like I didn't have to depend, settle for a job or do anything like that. So I can honestly say I think my mindset didn't change until I got like a good group of friends in my circle and was able to bounce off those ideas and then get that feedback when people didn't agree instead of getting in your feelings and being like, oh, like, nah, just hearing people out and being like, dang. And not saying everything you have to apply, but you take
Yeah.
bits and pieces. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna try it. And I tried it. It worked. Hearing my kids out. I tried it and was like, okay, I didn't have to go upside his head. So I mean, I think it worked. so, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so
I think for me, it just kind of came from like just making sure that you keeping them open lines of communication with the kids. When you tell them, "Hey, shut up, go to your room," like stop talking to me, like
yeah.
it's because I said so. You know that kind of stuff. It's like it puts your child in a position, or it makes it, or it would put me in a position or a thought process of like, I don't want to go and talk to you about nothing. Like, so then they go out into the world, and it's like they don't feel
Hmm.
comfortable to come back and talk to you to tell you something happened to them in the street. So now they
Right.
walking around with that trauma on their shoulders, mad at the world and everything else, because they didn't have that comfortability to come and talk to you because you didn't give them that opportunity when they're a child.
Yeah, that's facts. And I mean, I'm telling you, being around people, I've learned that some of that, like telling people do something because I said so, and speak when spoken to, and all that stuff is exactly why there are so many kids and really people now that are adults that were sexually assaulted and stuff like that, in their childhood because they were always kind of taught that like adult figures were, their say so was the end all be all. So like if your kid can't learn to speak up for themselves in the household, where do you think they're gonna learn how to speak up for themselves when they out and about or when somebody, what I'm saying, is doing something to them or, scaring them? I mean, all they gotta do is a person gotta do now is scare them into thinking that,
They in trouble or something.
yeah, they're gonna be in trouble, and then that's how you get these kids that are sexually assaulted at a young age because you didn't teach them how to speak up for themselves as a kid. So if you're not teaching your kid how to express themselves in the home, how you gonna teach them to express themselves? How you gonna trust that they're gonna come back and talk to you? You already telling them to shut up and listen all the time. So now you then alienated them and made them feel like they can't learn, they can't speak. So Um, I don't know. That's why I just said, like, if you're not willing to teach that at home, don't be surprised that when your kid become an adult and they feel comfortable expressing themselves, they're gonna tell you a story about, well, this happened to me, and I was always scared to tell you because you never made me feel comfortable talking. You know what I'm saying? You ain't never asked your kid how
Exactly.
they felt. You know what I mean? So that's the part. That's just something that I've seen over the years. Like a lot of this started with not like with kids not being given the autonomy to speak their mind, and you wonder why now. As you know, you wonder why you missed it. It's not you missed it because you made them feel like they can't talk. So if and it's the same thing where people be like, when people try to justify whooping kids, and I know we keep bringing that subject up. When I tell people why I don't care for it, they like, well, the world, they need to learn that the world is this and that and blah blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. So you mean to tell me that, okay, I understand that yes, the world ain't all sunshine and rainbows, but why wouldn't your house be the place where they lay their head and all that be the place that should be sunshine and rainbows? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hold on,
why
you
wouldn't
preaching now?
home?
Hold
Yeah,
on, hold
why
on.
would right? Why wouldn't home be the place where a kid can feel comfortable and feel like this is the place I can escape from the world. You know what I'm saying? Not I got to deal with real world stuff in my home. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got to deal with everybody. Sometimes people gonna want to fight you. I got to deal with that in the crib. Like, dang, and then you wonder why kids running away. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. But people call me crazy about that. I'm like, and that's not saying that I wouldn't ever, absolutely ever, you know what I'm saying, have to pop that backside, but it would have to be, you'd have to really been pushing it, but not like that ain't how I was raised. It was like, hey,
Hey.
you look at it, you know what I'm saying? You look at an adult the wrong way, you might get your face realigned. But
Nah, facts.
that's just not how I'm gonna do it in my house. So that's just me though. But
Nah, I mean you making valid points, bro. Like I said, you know,
Okay.
hey, I'm with you when you're right. I'm
Hey,
with you.
facts,
With you.
facts. Hey, Dix, I got a question for you. You said
No.
that if you uh would have had the opportunity, you'd like to stay at the house till you was like, a little bit longer, stack your money up. Realistically, do you think you would have did it?
Oh
Because
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
asking because I had that opportunity and I took my behind on and I was like, I can't do this. I gotta get out here and be a man. I gotta be grown. I don't know what I was thinking
Uh,
because that
I
was
mean,
not real
from
life, but
everything is hypothetical, right? Because me, I never got the opportunity because, like I said, I had my daughter when I was 16. So at 16, like shit changed for me, and I wanted to prove to people that I can provide by myself. So I didn't want no handouts. So that's why I went and got a job soon as I turned 15, working at McDonald's from 4 to 7 because I wasn't even old enough to stay past 7, and then turned 16 and stayed there because I didn't want anyone. It was all about trying to prove to people. Not saying it was the right mindset because realistically, I don't think anybody was against me. So,
nobody was telling you.
hey,
It's just like when
nobody.
people be making up that, like, man, they told me I wasn't gonna be nothing when I grew up. Like, well, nobody's telling you that, man. That teacher told you to read that
Yeah.
book in front of the classroom. That teacher told you to read that book because you were showing out.
and
Man.
so like I made these like I put these own expectations on myself realistically to just want to provide for my family to be like to show everyone I can still graduate because a lot of people did say that they thought because I had a kid that because of being the person I am that I would do whatever it took to make sure I could provide. Well, that means drop out
Mhm.
of school, not go to college, do these things. But I'm like, no, it's always the goal. So I would like to think like, yeah, if I had the opportunity, like I would have saved the money. Not saying I still wouldn't have been financially literate because I would have had all this money, but no one still ever taught me
what
interest
to do with
rates,
it.
investing and stuff. So I think I would have had the money. Not saying it would have lasted long once I left, but I would have had it. That's the point. So
Yeah, but I think also it depends on once again, like the parenting too. Like if you like, yes, it makes sense to like allow your kids to stay home and stack up money, or you know what I'm saying, go to school from you know what I'm saying, go to school from home instead of like forcing them to like go off and get all this debt. But like it really just come down to like parenting, you know what I'm saying, active parenting. Like, you know what I'm saying, if your kid at the end of their what up, Ashton? If your kid is at the end of
Brother,
their
if you acknowledge him, he stays. Let's go. And he's not here.
But if your kid is like, you know, really it should have started really their freshman year, but you should have been talking to them like, hey, what's some things you interested in? You know, like let's talk about. You just want to stack your money? Okay, well let's talk about that. Let's talk about how much money you need to be stacked up. Because just saying stack up your money, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? How much
$15.
money? How much money we are we looking for? Are you looking to get 10,000? Why do you need 10,000? Why do you need 5,000? Okay, it's because you want to go buy you a car and not have that. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Let's work. You know what I mean? And in that sense, I think also active parenting. Like shit, if my kid said, "Hey, Dad, I want to before I go to college, I want to stack $10,000 because I want to get my first car or 20,000," I'd be like, "All right, bet you find out a way to stack 5,000. I'll give you the other five." You know what I'm saying? That's giving him a goal. You know what I mean? Or hey, I want to try working as a civilian first before going to college. Okay, well let's look at things that you can do. Let's go get you a trade. That's gonna get you some actual money because going to McDonald's, I don't necessarily need you to just have money. I want you to be able to be working towards something. So let's go get you a real job,
Oh,
a trade. You know what I'm saying?
oh.
Like just some type of conversation. You know what I
Talk to
mean? But
him.
like people be wanting kids to be 18 and like your kid just when they were just 17, you didn't trust shit that they said. But the moment they turned 18, you know what I'm saying? But the
Hey,
moment they
dog,
turn
facts.
18, now they got to have it all together and figuring it out. It's like I said, it just come down to active parenting. Are you having these conversations or are you just saying, you ain't going to sit in the house and play video games? Well, of course they shouldn't be doing that. But you should also be, even if they decide to go to school, okay, what do you want to go to school for?
Hey, I got a question.
What up?
Like we say they shouldn't be sitting in the house playing video games, but I just watched a 16-year-old win $2 million. What if they really good?
If you're really good, okay, hey, let's talk about streaming. Let's
Because I'm
talk
about to say
about
that's a different thing. I wouldn't even know how. Like even somebody that stream, like because I never like was taught how to do it. Like how do I push you to that to be like, hey, it's okay to sit here and trade and get it up. You know, I wouldn't even know how that conversation would go.
well, if that like I said, active parenting. If a kid say, "I want to play, I want to professionally play games," okay, son, have you ever seen somebody make money and they be like, yeah, okay, let's see how he did it. I'm sure he has some interview he done, some magazine that he's in where he's explaining, oh yeah, I started streaming through Kick. I had to promote this, I had to do this. Okay, that's what you want to do. This is how you go. This is how we're gonna need to do it. We need to get on the internet. Let's get on the internet. Let's start googling how to do it. Because really, even with this, like us doing podcasts, there is a way to make this a more popular podcast and more like getting our shit across. You just got to do the you got to do the homework. You know what I mean?
Hey,
So
do your research.
exactly,
Do
do
your
your
research
research
on
on
making your podcast pop off.
you know what I'm saying. So like, if that's the like that it just got to be a conversation. It ain't just like, oh, my son want to become a famous streamer. I'm trusting that he gonna go figure that out. You wouldn't have trusted that when he was 16, 17. So why are you trusting that at 18? Like, let's talk about how do you get to that. You know what I mean? So if
Yeah.
you having those honest conversations and being true with them, that like act not even true. If you dedicate to like help them succeed, then yeah, it's conversations that need to be had. You know what I mean?
Nah, you preaching, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. I like it.
So
I like it. It's
yeah.
good shit.
So definitely it's some because that's something I didn't get. I just went to college because I wanted to get out the house.
No facts.
I didn't know what I was going. I just like y'all said, I was just chasing money. Oh, I'm gonna go for engineering. I'm not like engineer. I'm not nothing about me spells engineer. If you know me, you know what I'm saying. But I got into them classes and them shits humbled me quick as hell. You know what I mean? So, but like, I probably needed somebody to act like really sit down and talk to me because shit, it took me until I was 30 something, well, almost 30 to have any idea of schooling, what I wanted to do. So, I mean, granted, I've been going to school, taking regular classes and stuff. So, but yeah, it's all about, them conversations that you having with your kid. If you're not having them, then don't be surprised when it don't work out.
Nah, that's facts, bro. Not for real.
Yeah,
That's good topics. Good
but
topics.
yeah. Do we want to do another topic, or we gonna end it out?
We
I
got
say
that.
what?
Oh, go ahead.
What? No, go. I was gonna say because I was about to ask a question, but I seen that we was gonna talk about like mental health. But my question's gonna kind of like tie into that, like to ask. Like I know with adults, like we push mental health tough, but like statistically speaking, like kids that are seeing therapists are like at an all time high, like since COVID. But I was saying
Mhm.
like, do you think like we should push for kids to see a therapist regularly, like regardless if they actually have something wrong?
I,
Go ahead.
in full transparency, I was looking into, or me and my wife was looking into it for my daughter,
Okay.
because
Mhm.
for people that don't know, whatever, my daughter is by someone else or whatever, and so like we have primary custody of her,
Hmm.
and she would, when she would come back, like after her like weekend visits and stuff like that, she would be off. Um, that, I guess that's the best way that I can put it,
Yeah.
the best way I can word it. And so, we did reach out to a therapist and stuff like that, like a child therapist, and she was just telling us that like at the age that she's at, it's not really conducive. But she can't. She's not at an age to where she can really voice um or word how she's like feeling and what she's thinking. Um, but I'm definitely for it if
How
the
old is
need
she?
is there. She's 5.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I get that. Yeah.
So what about you,
But I
DC?
wanted to catch it earlier than
Mhm.
later. I wanted to catch it on the front end rather than the back end. So if I could
Mhm.
have intervened at this stage, so that when she turns 9 or 10, we're not dealing with a serious issue or problem, if there is an issue at all. I'd have hit it on the head while it's still in its infancy stage.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think I don't think there's nothing wrong with therapy for young kids and young adults. I do think though, like I don't know, maybe just being on social media too much can kind of like make you a little skeptical with therapy sometimes. But like I've been seeing a lot of like therapists who have like TikToks and Instagrams and stuff like that, and like some of the stuff they say has been a little bit alarming and troubling. So I would say that definitely therapy is fine, but make sure not all therapists are created equal. Not all
No, that's
doctors are
facts.
created equal. Not all nurses. Trust me, as somebody who has been in charge of multiple clinics and inpatient wards, not all doctors, nurses, psychiatrists, all that stuff, none of them are created equal. So make sure that you are actively involved in vetting the people that you're having your kid or even you are receiving advice from, because there are people who became doctors, nurses, psychiatrists and all that for the wrong reasons. You know what I'm saying? And they don't know how to check their biases at the door. So be careful. But I think it's perfectly fine. I mean, they're trained to kind of like notice certain things, but just be, like I said, be careful. And some of it is just you probably just need to have a conversation with your kid yourself.
Yeah.
That's what I
Like
was gonna say.
yeah,
That's what I was gonna say.
if like I'm all for the therapies and getting help and all that stuff, but like I just don't want that stuff us to start making those people be an extension of parents. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because like some of this stuff is conversations and questions you can have with your kids your damn self. You know what I'm saying? So um, I just think mental health has been such a hot topic these days that like I think people are overemphasizing it. Because I didn't seen some people on Instagram say stuff like, I'm not dating a guy or a girl who's not actively, what I'm saying, in therapy, unpacking some of their life traumas. And it's like, not everybody has to be seen by a therapist. Like, I mean, it's perfect. Like, some people are okay. You know what I'm saying?
I
So,
think
yeah, go ahead.
I think with that too, and like what you just said, I think not everybody has to be in therapy for sure. But I also think that therapy is for and I mean, y'all can say I'm wrong if y'all think I'm wrong, whatever. But I
You right.
personally feel like therapy is to help you process the emotions. Some people just have that natural, innate ability to be able to process their emotions,
Mm-hmm.
or they have a method to how they do it that is highly effective. So it doesn't require them to go to therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think that also starts with like the communication tip, like you were saying earlier, like having those conversations with your kids. I mean, we started having more in-depth conversations with my little girl, and I mean, a therapist hasn't really been a topic of conversation like for a good minute now. But I definitely think that that communication aspect of it is a huge key to it all. Even within myself, like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
just communication.
Because sometimes asking your kid how something makes them feel, you could probably, get a lot of answers out just out of that. Like you don't gotta take your kid to a therapist for the therapist to ask how did somebody yelling at you make them feel. You know what I'm saying? Like you can ask them that yourself and then explain to them why something happened, you know what I'm saying? Or why, you know what I'm saying? Like not everything like yeah, professionals are professionals for a reason. But like I think shit, good old parenting. Like I just don't want people to start like using therapy as a crutch for them to not parent their own damn kids. So that's the only thing. Like, and absolutely go to therapy if your kid needs therapy, but yeah, that just don't think that that's like a. I'm gonna take my kid to therapy. I'm gonna pick them up. I'm gonna go home. I'm not gonna ask them how therapy went. I'm not gonna ask them
None of
none of
that.
that. Like you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the moment they leaving out of therapy, you should be, hey, how you feeling? How did it go? Are you okay? You want to talk about it? No, okay, we can talk about it another time later on. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't. All I'll say is just don't skip past your parenting. To use like a medical. Don't let a medical professional now become the parent or the person. Like your kids shouldn't trust therapy or somebody else more than they trust their parent. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? Personally, that's how. At least that's how I feel. Like they should trust that I can come talk to you and help me process things too. So that's just my only thought of it on that part of it.
I second that.
Mad at it.
But
Not mad at it.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
but yeah. I don't think I really had nothing else for y'all, man. Unless y'all got anything else y'all want to, tap into.
I ain't really have nothing else. You want to say that video for next time?
The
What
other
video?
one, oh yeah, we did have that other one. Uh,
Which one?
I'm cool either way.
I think the video is kind of like it's like a few minutes long, so I don't know if y'all really want to watch that whole thing. Hold on. It's only like 50 something minutes long, 50 something seconds long.
Oh, I'm about to say 50
My bad.
minutes.
My bad. It's, no. It's 50. It's 57 seconds long. Um,
Alright.
but I mean, I think that could kind of like that topic can kind of like create like quite a bit of talking. So I don't know if you want to talk about that right now.
Oh, I was saying we can save for next
Yeah, we can say
episode
it
as
for
well.
next week.
Yeah, we can do that. Start that at the top of the next episode. So,
I'm
Alright,
with
bet.
that.
but yeah. Well, yeah, man, that's been a episode of the New Hood podcast. This episode was titled Bird Street.
Yes,
We
sir.
title all our episodes off of common streets or streets that we grew up on. So the next week it's gonna be a new one, and we're gonna get into it. If you got any questions for us, if it's anything you want to tap in with us on, you want to come on and ask us questions, or maybe you saw an episode you didn't agree with what we said, or you want to expand on the conversation, just let us know. Hit the inbox. You can hit any of us, or you can hit the pages inbox as well. So unless y'all fellas got anything y'all want to promote or drop, we're gonna end this on a high note.
I do
Alright.
have a quote that I heard earlier
Okay.
that I did want to drop. He said, I'm at war with myself, and the hardest part to come to terms with about it all is that whether I win or I lose, I'm gonna lose a part of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
And I felt like that was very deep, and I definitely wanted to like put that out there because I think we're always like battling within, not necessarily battling, but constantly trying to, like I said, grow. And with that growth, you tend to shed. layers of yourself.
Yeah,
So I definitely
yeah,
wanted to put
That's a
that out
fact.
there.
yeah. That's a
A
that's,
fact.
that's actually a real good one.
Yeah.
Actually, I got one too. They said one fish, two fish, one fish, two fish. Nah, I'll be
Big neck,
nah.
patty whack.
Oops, I'm out of time. My baby was fine. But yeah.
Alright, man.
All
Hey,
right,
y'all getting
y'all.
on the game?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
sir. We out.
Bet.